You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Went through a big, huge blip on the wonderful pewter here at the Rod Eccles Show, and it is a pain in the butt. Let me tell you, when they do stuff like this, and I know who the culprit is or was. My computer just shut off. It didn't crash because normally, you see the blue screen of death. As they used to call it, when your computer crashes. Your computer ran into a problem, at least mine does. Your computer ran into a problem, had to shut down. No, it just shut down. No warning, just went bleh, gone, off. And then when rebooting it back on, turning it back on and rebooting up, guess who had to update? Yeah, you got Skype. I'm not kidding. Yeah, hey, dude, do you want Skype to be able to make changes to your pew? I should have said no just to see what happened, but, it was an update, so I'm trusting that that's what it was. I need to have all my machines that are connected to the web, including my cell phone. It's just really... Actually, I was discussing this last night with somebody about cell phones. And this is why a lot of people are going to the burner style phones, because they're so cheap, and they're some people are using flip phones. Because you ever wonder why are they still using the flip? Well, the analog stuff is, from what I understand, is harder to hack than the digital. Yeah, obvious reasons behind that, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I'm fully capable of understanding the differences between analog and digital, and you can see why that would be true. But in any case, it is what it it is what it is, folks. In any case, one of the things that we really have to watch out for is government over interaction. It's not interaction at all. It's just really government shadowing. And you don't want government to always be at your door, so to speak, doing all sorts of stuff to you instead of for you. That's my biggest issue with government, is they want to do stuff to you instead of for you. And that's not the way our Constitution is set up. Constitution is set up so government does some stuff for you. They don't do anything to you. But, hey, it is what it is, I suppose. But we try not to let people get too involved. The government get too involved in our lives, but they do. They get very involved in our lives all the time, and in places where we don't want them, places where we don't need them, places where we would rather do without them. Yes? Yes. This is where deregulation comes into effect, by the way. It is where that happens. But in any case, let's getting back onto, speaking of government, did you know that with the rise in the Trump economy, with the rise in the economy, we've got stuff over here, companies that have been announcing that they were going to do all kinds of stuff for their employees, like bonuses and what have you. Bonuses, and they were going to. Trump just announced that I guess Toyota and Mazda were going to open a plant in Alabama and create some 4,000 high-paying jobs. Most of them middle-class, high-paying middle-class, blue-collar jobs in Alabama. Congratulations, Alabama. Good job. Can you imagine? Well, I guess, and according to Trump, is like these plants could build a total of 300,000 cars per year, cars and SUVs. That's a lot. That's a big plant. Well, and this is all due to all the tax reform, the deregulation of a bunch of regulations, deregulation. All that kind of stuff that is leading to this economic growth. Now, understand that once you people out there, and this is going to happen, whether it be 2020 or 2024 or 2028, you people will vote in a Democrat who's going to reverse all of that. I'm just telling you that's what's going to happen. Sometime within the next 10 years, we're going to have another Democrat as president, and it's going to be a very Barack Obama-esque type of person. That's going to want to bring back, all this regulation and bring back all the kind of laws. They're going to try to bring back things, a new kind of Obamacare. I'm telling you, and you people out there are going to fall for it. Now, most listeners here, if you're a true conservative and constitutionalist, no, you're not going to fall for it. But all the rest of you who are Republican lights, who are moderates, who are Republicans that say, well, I'm conservative on fiscal issues, but social issues I'm more liberal, or they say I'm more conservative on social issues, but fiscal issues I'm a little bit more liberal. You all are going to put these kind of people back in office, and it's going to hurt you big time. And then you're going to spend 4 or 8 years trying to figure out, well, why is everything so bad? Well, because you keep voting for these jackasses that keep fooling you over and over again. But and you're going to ignore. Look, we did it before under Ronald Reagan. We had a decade of nothing but boom under Ronald Reagan, and then what did we do? We threw a hissy fit because of George H.W. Bush. He raised some taxes. He's raising my taxes. I'm going to vote for Bill Clinton, who's going to raise my taxes even more, who's going to retroactively raise my taxes, who's going to institute a lot more regulation, who isn't going to protect the USA, and is going to do all kinds of crazy stuff in the White House. Well, of course, none of us probably could have predicted the Monica Lewinsky-esque type of activity in the White House, but we knew that this guy was bad news. We knew he was a liberal Democrat. But we elected him twice. And then we wised up a little bit and put George W. Bush in office. And then we thought, well, geez, now we're just tired of war, and this George W. Bush, so we're going to give this black guy a chance. And look what happened. So now we've got the economy turned because we got an old rich white guy in charge again. I know that frosts a lot of people. Instead of a young black guy, we got an old rich blonde white guy in the office, and that. Does Trump have blue eyes? I've never really noticed. I don't know. Well, I mean, I look people in the eye. But I often don't notice the color unless it really stands out for that person's face. Now, sometimes I'll notice a person, well, wow, that blonde guy's got some dark eyes. You ever see a blonde person with dark brown eyes? It almost, well, they almost look evil. Now, that doesn't mean that they are. I just said it almost looks. Sometimes it almost... Because they've got the blonde hair, and you don't expect to see them with such dark eyes. It just looks out of place. So yeah, you're going to notice that color, or you notice anybody with real Well, even if they have contacts on, but anybody with real green eyes, you notice that color right away too. In certain kinds of blue eye, those like Elijah Wood type of blue eyes that kind of they're looking at you, but it looks like they're looking through you or past you, and it gives you the heebie-jeebies sometimes. Those color that you notice too, or the marble eyes. Got members of my family that have marble-esque eyes, gorgeous eyes. But oftentimes, just regular people with brown or black or blue. The regular, sometimes you just don't even notice what color they are. So I'm guessing he's got the regular kind, just the everyday blue, because you don't even notice the color. They're not green. They're not the Elijah Wood steely blue eyes that look through you. That's for sure. They're not. He's not a blonde guy with dark eyes, dark brown or black eyes. I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't notice. But here you have Trump that is now out there touting his economy, and you got a number of companies out there that are also touting the Trump economy by announcing all these bonuses and increased benefits, higher wages. Guess who else is out there praising the economy and quote unquote accusing the economy of helping them to establish an even higher wage? Yes, Walmart is going to raise their minimum hourly wage to $11 an hour. Now, granted, it's not the 15 like some people want, but just think about it. Walmart, of all places, they're raising their minimum hourly wage to $11 an hour in wake of tax overhaul. They're using the tax overhaul as an excuse to raise minimum wage, their own minimum wage, in-house minimum wage to $11. Basically, and they're giving bonuses to many of the rank and file associate employees of up to $1,000. Now, $1,000 for somebody who's down there on the front lines in a Walmart store, that's a lot of money. And the company is saying that tax reform allows acceleration of its current U.S. economic and wage plans. Now, this is out of Bloomberg, folks. You got all these wonderful people out there who are saying, it's not this, it's not that, it's not Trump. Yeah, and Walmart comes along and says, well, yeah, actually, hey, it is a Trump economy. It is Trump.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, But now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
And now it is time for today's holidays here on the Rod Eccles Show. Today's holidays that are for January number 11. Not necessarily just for the year 2018, but on this day every year, on January 11, we, not necessarily the day, Thursday, but January 11, we celebrate things like Learn Your Name in Morse Code. Yes, today is Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day. I don't know what my name is in Morse code, just so you know. So how do you celebrate? Well, you celebrate today by going out and learning how to spell your name or tap your name in Morse code. And, I don't know where you would actually practice that. But anyway, it is Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day. It is, speaking of fiber, earlier in the program this morning, I talked a lot about fiber making you healthy. Well, today is Healthy Weight, Healthy Look Day. Yes, you want to, healthy weight makes you look healthy too. So remember, it's not how you feel, darling. It's how you look that matters. So it's healthy weight, healthy look. Where's Billy Crystal been, by the way? He wasn't. No, that was Billy Crystal doing that. Not Father, the other guy. What's his name? Did Father Guido Saducci? Father Guido Saducci. He doesn't say that. No, the other guy, the Billy Crystal character, did the how you look. So it's Healthy Weight, Healthy Look Day. Today is also National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friend Day. It is not National Step in a Puddle Day. And it is not National Splash Your Friend Day. It is National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friend Day. I'm not kidding you. This is right here. It's also it's also National Milk Day to go along with, I guess, Healthy Weight and Healthy Look Day. And to go along with that, it is also Cigarettes Are Hazardous to Your Health Day. We got a special day to tell us that cigarettes are bad for your health? Okay. And it is also Secret Pal Day. Now, to go along with Secret Pal Day, now, although they're not the same thing, they kind of go in together to one another. To go along with Secret Pal Day, it is also National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. It's also known as the National Day of Human Trafficking Awareness. And this is actually pretty serious stuff when it comes to human trafficking. You wouldn't believe how big that so-called illicit industry is. And not just for girls. I mean, there are a lot of boys, men, young men, who are being trafficked, sex slaves. Now, the vast majority of sex slaves are women, but there is a growing number of male sex slaves. and underage sex slaves. And not only are they're foreign sex slaves, not just Latino. We're talking European and Asian, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old boys being imported into the United States and into other. It's not just here in the United States where there's human trafficking. Other countries as well have a huge problem with this. Eastern European countries have a huge human trafficking, especially for girls, young women, trafficking into Western Europe and into the U.S. Sex slave trade. It's enormous, and it's awful. And yeah, that needs to have some awareness brought to it, and we really need to start Mr. Sessions, maybe you should start really tackling and have a war on human trafficking versus a war on drugs. I'm just saying, seriously, I'm just saying. It is also National Hot Toddy Day. Yes, does anybody know what a hot toddy is? Well, hot toddies are the wonderful alcoholic concoctions that people often drink. And it's celebrated today during the cold months. They're an alcoholic drink whose ingredients can be easily tweaked, and they have a murky history at best. They are often drank as nightcaps and are a winter favorite all over the world, often being drank when it is cold and wet and cold and snowy. Some people also believe they help cure or suppress flus and colds. Hot toddies usually consist of certain amounts of ingredients, but there is much variance in how they can be made. Ingredients vary because of nearby traditions, and here in New England, for example, maple syrup is used often instead of honey to sweeten a hot toddy concoction. In Midwest, they use ginger ale. In the American South, bourbon is usually used, and in Wisconsin, brandy is often used, which I'm used to brandy being the alcohol in a hot toddy. And in Ireland, of course, Irish whiskeys, and of course in Scotland, Scotch is preferred, and in certain European countries, whiskeys or bourbons are much preferred over the brandies. But there you have it. Today's holidays for today, January number 11.
You might be surprised to learn who has Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Nearly 1 in 200 Americans are suffering with a debilitating pain and constant disruption of these inflammatory bowel diseases, or IBD. Chances are you know someone with IBD. For example, your neighbor or coworker. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation was created to help patients cope and to find a cure. People with IBD can't wait. Won't you help someone you know? Visit www.escapethestall.com today.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. But most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
Everyone is talking about healthcare these days. America spends twice that of other developed countries on our healthcare system, yet our health ranks near the bottom. How can we stop spending so much and getting so little? Shifting to a system based on primary care can help fix the problem. Patients with a primary care doctor live longer, healthier lives and are less likely to suffer from cancer, heart disease, or stroke. Primary care that is comprehensive and coordinated also saves money. Patients who have a primary care doctor spend 30% less on health care than patients who don't. States with a high number of primary care doctors have lower health care costs and higher quality care. Primary care can help make America healthy again. To learn more about the benefits of primary care, visit www.healthisprimary.org. This message is brought to you by America's Family Physicians.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
There's a threat targeting America. One that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin. This dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes a bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org.
Dad, we need to talk.
Can we just enjoy the drive?
If you're not going to listen to me, who will we listen to?
Jeffrey. Ah! Marcia Gay Harden, what?
Eyes on the road, Dad.
What are you doing? What are you doing in my back seat? How did you get in here?
You're getting older.
Not that old.
Your brain's changing. It's natural.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Honey, I've got experience with this. Jeffrey, brain health is all about making the most of your brain as you age and helping to reduce some of the risks to your brain.
Really? Now that's interesting.
So, you'll talk to her about this, but not me. Marcia Gay Harden? Where did she go?
Learn what you can do to help keep your brain healthy at brainhealth.gov. She didn't say goodbye? I mean, I would have. Visit brainhealth.gov.
Welcome back as we continue on. Hey, guess what they're doing out there in on the left coast, specifically up there in the north left coast, in a city called Seattle, in a state known as Washington. Yes, up in Seattle, Washington, they are failing to learn the lessons of places like New York City and most recently Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yes, those wonderful liberal hotspots, especially Philly, who've attempted to try to limit the people's ability to get what they want as far as consumables, food, drink. Forget how much sugar is in it, whether they want sugar in it or not. But Seattle is attempting, this is the land of coffee now. Now, obviously, this is not going to affect the likes of Starbucks, because caffeine is better than sugar, I guess, right? Well, Seattle attempts to impose morality with its ridiculously high taxes on sugary drinks. Now, when I saw the tax on this, I'm thinking, any extra tax on, as they probably call it, soda pop, is probably, does that mean that the Starbucks drinks that you buy in the in the grocer cold cases, next to the sodas. Will that have a tax? This kind of tax, because it's got sugar in it. The premixed coffee lattes and things like that in the refrigerator cases. I grab one of those every once in a while, and its counterparts. If there's a counterpart available, it's not always a Starbucks. If there's others, that aren't Starbucks related. I think, does Dunkin' Donuts have one out now too? But anyway, Seattle has decided to impose a 1.75 cent per ounce tax on all sugary beverages within the city, with the hopes of raising $15 million in revenue that it will use for programs to help people have better access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Wait. How are you going to help people have better access to fruits and vegetables unless you actually either give it to them or pay for it for them in the form of, food stamps? I mean, this is vague. It is extremely, extremely vague, this kind of thing. But anyway, this is what Seattle station KIRO Channel 7 explains the price of Gatorade Frost Variety Pack at Costco. And I don't know why they chose Gatorade, because Gatorade's supposed to be a healthy drink. And think about this for a second. You're going to replace your electrolytes and stuff, but it's a sugary drink. So, I know it has, Gatorade can actually have a lot of calories in it. And for people who are non-athlete, they drink a lot, consume a lot of this stuff, and it's probably not all that good for them. But the price of Gatorade Frost Variety Pack at Costco is usually $15.99 up there in Seattle, Washington, according to KIRO Channel 7. But then you add the $10.34 tax. Now, I don't know how you get $10.34 in taxes when it's $1.75, but okay. Yeah, not a dollar, 1.75 cents per ounce. So in other words, I don't know how you get it. Well, never mind. Yes, I don't know how the tax is $10.34. It should be $10.35 because it's rounded. But in any case, so there's a $10.34 tax on the $15.99 price of the Gatorade Frost Variety Pack at Costco because of all the number of ounces that the pack has. Which means that $15.99 price for the Frost Variety Pack Gatorade at Costco is now going to cost you $26.33. Kind of like a pack of cigarettes, is it not? Seattle, Washington has just elevated Gatorade to the level of tobacco. Now, you walk into a store and you ask for a pack of cigarettes, and you start delineating the difference between the actual cost of cigarette and the added tax. You try to get these people to separate. What's the tax on it? You'd be shocked and surprised at the amount of taxes, both local and federal taxes, that you're paying on a pack of cigarettes and for tobacco. It's ridiculous. This is why, a box of cigarettes will cost you, what, $50, $60? It's ridiculous. And who is that affecting it the most? Well, lower income and lower middle class people still do most of the smoking in this country. They're the ones that can least afford the higher taxes. They're the ones that have to pay for it. I'm just saying. Now, with that said, who do you think is buying the Gatorade? Well, it's going to be lower middle class families and people. Because they used to be cheap drinks. And who wants to just buy water all the time? Well, now that $16 pack of Gatorade is now going to cost you more than $26. Do you think that extra $10 is $10 in a tax? Come on, folks, listen to this for a second. We're talking a tax that is going on a single item. that is $10. I mean, you're looking at a $16 item, and they're tossing on a $10 tax. That's 70% of the cost of the item. That's a huge. That's not including any other taxes that might already be on there. I don't know. Does the state of Washington have a bottle redemption tax? You know, the nickel or dime per bottle. Well, I mean, that's not going to replace the Seattle tax. Does it have a sales tax? Because if it has a state sales tax, you got to pay that on top of the the 1034. Because, you know, the city can't come in and say, well, you don't have to pay state sales tax on this. Well, no, you got to pay the state. Can you imagine, by the time you get done, this $15 or $16 pack of drinks is now going to cost you $30. Almost double. And that's all due to taxes. Now, there's more than a few problems with the new tax scheme, which a sign right next to the Gatorade in Costco hopefully demonstrates. They're calling it the Sweetened Beverage Recovery Fee. That's what it's being called. Now, Costco is fighting back, and I'm sure a lot of other places will be fighting back as well. This item is also available at this particular Costco inside the city limits of Seattle. This item is also available at our Tukwila and Shoreline locations without City of Seattle's sweetened beverage tax, sweetened beverage recovery fee. So, in other words, Costco is directing its consumers, its shoppers, to go outside of the city. Just like they did in Philadelphia, by the way. Philadelphia bottlers, certain bottlers, were laying off people because there was a dramatic decrease in. And now you have to understand, bottlers have franchise districts or locations, and if you got a franchise that says you'll only supply within the city limits of Philadelphia, and people stop buying the soft drink within Philadelphia and go outside of Philadelphia, well, you're losing business as that bottler. And this is what happened in Philly. People were going outside of the city because the sugary soda tax was only within the city limits. They were going outside the city to buy their soda and other sugary drinks. And the people that got harmed were, well, the city of Philly didn't get as much tax revenue as they thought they were going to get because they thought that all their people, too many of their people inside within the city limits. This is what liberals think. They think you're stupid. They think that you're just going to sit back and allow them to ram it up your ass constantly without telling you if you have cancer or not. You're just going to take it. And so when you don't sit back and take it, including other liberals, and you do things legally to subvert their stupid laws and regulations, then they sit back and they're shocked. Oh my, we didn't make nearly as much as we thought we would off that. Why is that? People are actually going outside of the city? So instead of saving jobs and their tax base and getting rid of or at least reducing the tax, oh no, they double down on it. No, we're going to keep it. So more people lose their jobs. So not only are they not getting the tax revenue that they thought they'd be getting off of this thing, but people are losing their jobs. So they're losing the business taxes and other local taxes off of those jobs that are now lost. So they're not coming out ahead in any shape, manner, or form. No, not at all. And this is the same thing that they're already, Costco is reminding you. Look, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to pay this stupid tax. Just travel outside of the city limits of Seattle, and you'll be free to buy this at $15.99 again. And you won't have to pay, and whatever the local and sales tax might be on it. So you can still get it for $16, $17, $18, not $30. There's no sweetened beverage recovery fee. Yeah, I gotta love the names that they give this stuff too. As with all excise taxes, so says this, which is this is actually a WordPress site that broke this story. Rare.us, Rare Politics. With all the excise taxes, this one is easily avoided. Customers can visit Costco stores in nearby towns and thereby skipping the city of Seattle's sweetened beverage tax, a.k.a. the sweetened beverage recovery fee. And now customers are less likely to make an extra inconvenient trip if the price changes are barely noticeable. But since you're going to end up paying nearly double the price, many residents will probably take. You know what this is going to do? This is going to force people at the places like Costco to shop outside of the city, which means well, maybe not Costco, but which means stores like within the city that sell this kind of stuff are going to see a decrease in customer activity, which means they may have to lay off people and or close their doors because customers aren't just going to go outside of the city just to buy their soda. I mean, while they're there, they're going to do their shopping because they're there. I mean, this is going to be a big issue. And see, this is going to blow up in their face, but you know what's going to happen? Is Seattle, like so many other liberal enclaves around this country, they're going to double down on it. They're not going to raise anywhere near the $15 million that they think they're going to raise. So they're just going to double down. Well, geez, we're just going to... And then they're going to say, well, if you live within... They're going to probably try to pass an ordinance to say that if you live within the city and you buy the soda outside of the city, you're still going to have to voluntarily report that purchase and send in the tax money. Guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Because they're not going to get anywhere near what they think that they should be getting. And people are going to start losing their jobs within the city. And they're going to be scratching their heads. Well, we don't understand why the economy is booming and all these kind of jobs are leaving the city. Why? They're not going to blame the tax. They're going to blame you for not willing to pay the tax. I mean, come on, you people in Seattle, you better wake up. What happens if they start taxing caffeine? They did. Wasn't there a municipality that wanted to tax caffeinated drinks because caffeine was supposed to be not that good for you too? I know. I think the likes of the coffee industry, like Starbucks, I think they may have shot it down. But there was somebody out there who wanted to have a caffeine tax. It's okay to have a sugar tax, though, because sugar is the enemy, right? Really?
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
You got to understand something here about the Trump administration, and when it comes to people like Steve Bannon. Bannon now is an anti-Trump hero. Well, he is. He's an anti-Trump hero, and what we have now is we have we've got information coming out on Bannon. That shows him that not being a good friend to the president. And here's a story. Before Donald Trump and Steve Bannon were frenemies, enemies, they were allies. And not long before that, unbeknownst to Trump, Bannon was part of an effort to sink Trump's presidential hopes. Yes, Trump didn't even know it at the time. A conservative watchdog group led by Bannon tried to discredit Trump in the early stages of the 2016 Republican presidential primary by shopping a document alleging that Trump had ties to mobsters, according to conservative sources, and a copy of a document reviewed by CNN. Now, understand, CNN is bringing this out, that Bannon was. And look, we also know that the reason why, and Donald Trump has just alluded to, well, if you watch him on his tweets, I follow his tweets. He tweets a lot, but I get a lot of his tweets. I read a lot. And Trump let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, by saying how much of a bad guy that he believes Bannon is now. And he accused Bannon of being the leaker. And there are other people that corroborate that Bannon was the leaker in chief. Because when Reince Priebus was kicked out of the administration, basically, the leaks diminished only fractionally. So we know that Priebus was a leaker because some of the amount of leaks stopped, but the vast majority of leaks still kept coming on or getting out until Bannon got fired. So you put two and two together, and you realize that Bannon was a double agent. Bannon was a double agent for the anti-Trumpers. Trump in the early stages in 2016, he was shopping around a document alleging Trump had ties to mobsters. Now let's face it, if you are a builder in New York City, and you have to deal with construction, and you have to deal with construction unions, well, it can be honestly said that you have ties to the mob, because the mob is all over unions in New York City. You don't get anything built unless you go through a union, and if you have to go through a union, that union is most likely tied to somebody in the mob. So somebody in the mob is getting payments and kickbacks off of union dues or union payments in order to get something built in New York City. It's just the way it is. And everybody knows it. And I'm not saying that they like it, and some people try to get around it, but the reality is that's just the way it is. And nobody really wants to do anything about it because it has to do with unions. And you can't take down unions. Oh no, because unions are they're the lifeblood of blue collar America, right? Just unions. Now, the anti-Trump opposition research was the work of Peter Schweitzer for the Government Accountability Institute, which he co-founded with Bannon back in 2012. It describes years of alleged business connections between Trump companies and organized crime figures, allegations that have circulated among Trump detractors for years. And again, that's the same thing with any big construction or development firm not just Trump. If you're trying to build in New York or any major city like Chicago or LA, but definitely New York City, you're going to have to deal with construction unions who are infiltrated and controlled by and sometimes just basically owned by members of the mob. And there's no way around it. Because there are certain laws and regulations where you have to use union people. So you're not going to get around it. You can't. And that's just the way it is. And this is what they're trying to say is a problem with Trump. But Bannon was shopping this around, folks. He was shopping this around. You can't make this stuff up. Wish you could, but you can't. In any case, even with the little bit of a hiccup that we had earlier today in the program, we are out of time officially now, so we will have to say goodbye and see you tomorrow for Open Mic Freedom Friday. Just about anything goes, and we'll cover a lot more that we didn't get to so far in the week. Until then, have a great Thursday afternoon. I'm Rod Eccles. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain what, why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat apple file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.